CatSynth TV.
Hey everybody, CatSynth TV, and we are looking at the CS-80V from Arturia's V Collection. In this video, we're going to talk a little bit about the history of the CS-80, explore some of the factory presets that come with the Arturia CS-80V, and also show how to create your own sounds. But first, if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to this channel for more synthesizer content coming out regularly. I became quite interested in the CS-80V after trying the original instrument out a couple weeks ago at the Vintage Synthesizer Museum. Released in 1976, the Yamaha CS-80 quickly became the preeminent polyphonic analog synthesizer of its time. It boasted true 8-voice polyphony with 2 independent layers per voice. Each layer had its own oscillator, high-pass and low-pass filters in series and its own envelopes and LFO. The CS-80 also had extensive capabilities for expressive real-time control, with sliders for all voice functions, global functions such as its unique ring modulation section, a touch ribbon for pitch bend, and polyphonic aftertouch. Yes, polyphonic aftertouch in 1976. The CS-80 was featured by many composers and musicians at the time, perhaps most notably by the composer Vangelis in his scores for Blade Runner and Chariots of Fire. The CS-80 remains prized to this day and commands high prices. It also weighed in at a massive 200 pounds. The CS-80V reproduces the front panel of the original instrument, including all the controls for the 2 independent voice layers, as well as the real-time section, including the pitch ribbon. Let's explore a few of the presets now. Okay, now we're going to look a little more closely at the voice architecture of the CS-80V. By default, Voice 1 is on in sawtooth mode. We can turn on Voice 2 by setting its amplitude level all the way up. Let's further widen the sound by adding the square wave and pulse width modulation to Voice 1. We can also detune the pitch of Voice 2. Okay, we're going to lower the volume of Voice 2 again so that we can concentrate on the filter section of Voice 1. It has both a high-pass filter and a low-pass filter in series. The slope can be set either 24 dB or 12 dB. I prefer the 12 dB, so we're going to stick with that from here on out. Let's turn on the high pass. Of course, if you cross the cutoff frequencies of the two filters, you might end up with no sound, but if you combine them in the right order, you will get a bandpass filter. On the CS-80, the envelope filter has no sustain control. It is fixed to the level of the cutoff frequencies. Okay, now we're going to look at one of the enhancements to the original, which is the modulation matrix. Let's bring up the mod wheel now, and we can use that to control the cutoff frequency of the low-pass filter. We can also use the wheel to control the cutoff frequency of the high-pass filter. Let's do that now. Put together, we have a controllable bandpass filter now. Okay, let's bring Voice 2 back in. You'll hear that it's unaffected by Voice 1's filters. We can now set up the filters for Voice 2 as well. Let's change the low pass. And let's add some modulation to that. We'll use the LFO from Voice 2 to control the cutoff frequency of Voice 2's low-pass filter. Just like in the original CS-80, there are a series of buttons for voice presets that set all the controls for the oscillator and filter for each layer. Let's try a few different ones. These ones are flute-like. Some string-like voices. And brass. I like combining the brass and flute presets. Now we're going to look at the feet control, which allows you to quickly set the pitch of the two layers to various harmonics. Okay, let's adjust the controls so that we have a perfect fourth. One of the most unique features of the CS-80 is its ring modulator section. We can add some more depth to it to give it more of a ring modulatory sound. It even has its own attack and decay envelope. I think it works best with the brass sounds, so let's select those presets. The sub-oscillator is basically a global VCO that can be used to control the oscillator, filter, or amplifier sections. Finally, there's the effects section, which comes at the end of the signal chain. There's delay, as well as chorus and tremolo. Okay, let's make that a little less extreme, and then let's turn up the delay a bit more. Alright, we have a pretty complex patch now, which starts with the brass presets, but then builds up a more complex and different sound with the filters, ring mod, and effects. We hope you enjoyed this introduction to the CS-80V and now have some ideas of what to do with the factory presets as well as creating your own voices. To find out more, please visit Arturia.com and check out the description below this video. Thanks for watching. Check out more at www.catsynth.com and please subscribe to CatSynth TV.